Hey, you're listening to the Smoke Meat Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Pittman. Smoke Meat's brought to you by Joe's Underground at the corner of 8th and Broad in Augusta, Georgia. Jeremy and the gang make sure that you just feel like family every time you go in there. I love going to Joe's. It's my home club. They always have some great entertainment in there, great food, great drinks, great people. Just such a wonderful place to go. Make you feel like family every time you go in. So go in, have a drink, make some new friends, see some old ones. Remember, I goes to Joe's, and so should you. Joe's Underground, the corner of 8th and Broad in Augusta, Georgia. Hey, today my guest is Mr. Tym Moss. Tim is such a wonderful entertainer, singer, songwriter, dancer, you name it, Tim does it. Also a very, very great advocate for the LGBT community. Man believes what he believes, and he stands up for it, and I dig that. We had a great time talking today. Tim is also a bona fide mess. So y'all just kick back and listen. We're going to get this thing kicked off. We're going to have a great time today. So without further ado, here we go. Hey, Tim, how the hell are you this morning?
I am wonderful, Brad. How are you?
If I were any better, I'd be twins. Mm-hmm.
But I have to admit, when they first said, I'm going to be on smoked meat, I thought, oh, hey, being gay, I had one thought, but I'm glad to be here anyway.
Hey, I got the best smoked meat in the world.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, that's exactly. If you got it, flaunt it. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
how are things in Atlanta right now? How's the weather and everything?
Oh, it's beautiful out there this morning. It's nice and sunny. It's about 75, somewhere along in there already. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Sounds perfect. It's pretty much the same here in New York City.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you have a good 4th?
I did. I had a rather unnerving 4th of July. I don't know why this year there were fireworks constantly outside on the streets for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it just very unnerving in the middle of the night, having like fireworks go off outside your window. But then the 4th of July was just constant. So that was basically it. We're still indoors. We're still stuck inside. So we're just kind of stuck inside with bombs going off outside. It was very surreal.
Man. Yeah, it sounded like a young war here.
Yeah, it was like Lebanon or something here. It was crazy. But we made it through.
Yeah. Yeah. I stayed here and messed with meat all weekend. I recorded, and I bought a almost 3-pound cowboy cut ribeye with a bone in and cooked it.
Oh, yes.
I said, I'm not going to eat this thing all at once. And guess what I did? I ate it all at once. I was ashamed of myself, too, but man, it was good.
So, no, because, see, I live in an apartment in the city. So you have, like, a backyard and you have, like, a barbecue or a grill.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I could taste that. It sounds so good.
Oh, man, in my garage, I have two big griddles. I have an event grill, one that doesn't have the lid.
Oh, wow. Uh-huh.
In the backyard, I've got an electric smoker, and I've got a kettle grill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You do some serious cooking there.
Oh, yeah. I do it all. When I had my strokes, the name of this show is Smoke Meat because I had 2 strokes. And
wow.
I've got a friend that hunts a lot, and I was at home for 4 months, not able to go to work. And he doesn't like wild game. He loves to hunt, but he doesn't like the meat, so he gives it away. So he would kill a hog or a deer and call me and my other friend, and we'd come get it and process it.
Wow.
And we learned to process because that gets expensive, especially when you're out of work. So we learned. And I got tired of doing it the same way, so I learned how to make different sausages and that kind of stuff. I do brats, andouille, pepperoni,
My goodness.
You name it. And I've got a deer pastrami. Amazing.
Wow. Well, next time I'm in Atlanta, I'm going to come to your place for dinner.
Hey, there's an open invitation. It's an open invitation. You are more than welcome here. Let me know, and I'll make some pastrami because I know being from New York, that's going to be judged.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But that helped heal me. That centered me. So that's why I named the show Smoked Meat.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. Oh man, I know.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just waking up in the morning, so
Oh, I feel your pain. I
yeah,
feel your pain.
but that's the nice thing about radio is I'm kind of sitting here in my underwear with my hair unbrushed and everything. So
Hey,
the interviews are much more comfortable.
I've been told that I have the perfect face for radio. Oh yeah. On the air, I am beautiful. I tell you,
I
I've done the therapist industry such a great honor. I've delivered 18 babies, and in the future, those kids are going to need some therapy because this is the first thing they saw when they came into the world. Oh yeah, they're going to need some intense experimental therapy. Oh yeah,
oh my goodness, how many babies?
18.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that must be incredible.
It is
What an
the
experience.
it's the most terrifying feeling in the world and the best feeling at the same time.
Wow.
You know, the last one I
Uh-huh.
did was actually named after my mom.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful little girl born on the side of I-20 just out of Augusta.
Oh wow.
Yep,
Oh my goodness.
yep, that was so cool. Oh man, but yeah, those kids are gonna need some hardcore therapy. Oh man, yeah, it's gonna look like the 1800s. Some of the stuff they're gonna experiment on them with. Oh
Oh
yeah.
goodness.
Oh man, well I know we've been talking some, and you have got so much going on, man. I'm just tickled that you've got time to do this show. You're busy.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy life. I have a good time, definitely. Except again, the pandemic for the past few months has really put a damper on us creatives. It's because like the movie industry, we can't do movies, we can't do theater, we can't do um, television. There's no gatherings of people here in New York City. So if I do one more show from my living room, oh, please. We do a lot of online performances,
Hmm.
so but just not the same.
Yeah, I've had some comics who have put up a backdrop in their house and done their act, and I
Mm-hmm.
tried it once, and I just can't do it. I feed too much off that audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the
Yeah.
characters,
Yeah.
and that works.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you've definitely got to watch the Murray 50 Shades of Grey video.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It is so bad, but it's so great.
Love it.
Oh man, but yeah, I know you were. Let me see here. I got. It's early. I'm having to look at my notes this quick. That's so sad.
Uh-huh.
But I know you're a big LGBT activist, which is an
Yeah.
awesome thing.
Yeah.
And I know Pride has been pretty much just trashed this year because of the
Yeah. Yeah.
pandemic.
And it's so weird. Again, New York City was the epicenter, the first epicenter of the pandemic. So we closed the city down. I was surprised that everybody complied and stayed home, but the streets were like a horror movie. Like, they were just empty. I've lived here almost 40 years and never seen the city like that. And, um, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought too. It's too early in the day for me.
Should have had coffee.
Um,
We should have for sure.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, no, I was talking about
Oh,
how
about
the Pride got
about
messed up so bad. Yeah.
yeah, the LGBT. But all of the boroughs, most people don't know this, but all the boroughs have their own prides, and I have either hosted or performed every year for. Either Staten Island Pride I hosted for 4 years, Brooklyn Pride I hosted for 4 years, Bronx Pride I've hosted for several years, and Queens Pride I've always performed at. And then Manhattan is the big New York City Pride, the one that everybody thinks of.
Hmm.
Well, I've been very active, and during the month of June, particularly, I'm borough hopping constantly. Sometimes I'll start off in the Bronx, have to run to Queens, back to Manhattan, and then home. I'll hit several boroughs in one day,
Hmm.
and This year, I sat in my apartment the entire month,
Oh man.
and I didn't cancel. I didn't cancel my calendar, so it was weird. Like about every day, there was one weekend when Friday my calendar went off to remind me that I was supposed to have done my cabaret show in the Bronx that night.
Mm.
And the next day, it went off to say I was supposed to perform and possibly host out of Brooklyn Pride on Saturday, where I would have taken my luggage with me and went right to the train station because Sunday was Philadelphia Pride that I was going to be performing in.
Mm.
So I had to go to Philly. And again, the entire weekend spent here in my apartment.
Oh man. Your
Yeah,
calendar just taunting
that is how much of a shift I've been through this year.
you. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Normally, I'm all over the East Coast, all over the East Coast.
this is going to sound bad, but it's meant with total love.
Hmm.
You know, this pandemic has gotten serious when it has stopped gay people from partying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Shit
Oh
has
my
hit the
goodness.
fan.
Yep, exactly, exactly. And I'm telling you, Zoom just doesn't cut it. Just
No.
doesn't cut it.
No, it don't. But it just hang
Yeah,
tight
but
in there. It's going to get back better.
oh, it will. Yeah, it will. But I in a way, I think it's changing us. Um, hopefully, we will emerge with a higher consciousness or more of an appreciation for our humanity or something. I'm hoping something good comes out of this because
Yeah.
it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely been interesting.
Most definitely. And it's funny. I don't get political on here. I told you that.
Hmm.
And this isn't really political. This is more just the way things are happening right now.
Hmm.
The news is showing all the bad stuff, all the riots, everybody not
Right.
getting along. And I'm looking around, and I'm just south of Atlanta. And while everything's not perfect,
Hmm.
people are behaving pretty much. Everybody's being more tolerant of each other. Everybody's trying to get along and just you do me, let me do me. And it works.
Right.
But the
That's what
news
I
don't
was,
want to show that.
and that's what I was. Right. Exactly. They always have to go with whatever is negative or bad or scary or the worst in humanity, and that's why I'm hoping we'll emerge with more humanity, where we just honor each other and respect each other's differences.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, but we'll see.
Yeah. I hope that what comes out of all this is what came to me with age. When I was younger, I wasn't perfect. But at the same time, I've never been intolerant, like hardcore of anybody. But I've
Hmm.
always had my opinions. But as I'm getting older, I figured out, well, being gay may not be my thing. Love my wife and all that. But at the same time, don't affect me.
Hmm.
Why should I be pissed because you're gay?
Hmm. Hmm.
Had a gay friend of mine tell me one time, said, people talk smack about gay people, but me and my husband have been married for 18 years. How long have they been married? How many times have they been married? I'm
Hmm.
like, good, you found somebody to love. Great.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
But I mean, it just, I don't know. I call it children's instant. I walked over my grave. But I look at it this way. If you can find a damn slice of happiness in this world, jump on it and hang on to that bitch.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go with what makes you happy and what makes you feel good.
Exactly. I tell
Hmm.
you, it's funny. The first gay person I really knew that was open and honest with it was a paramedic in Augusta, and his name was Larry Gay.
Hmm.
And when Larry came out of the closet, Larry didn't step out and shut the door silently behind him and say, "Hi there, I'm Larry."
Hmm.
No. Larry kicked it open with purple sequin tights and a pink cape and screamed, "Here I am, see me, love me." And he was so awesome. He
I
was such a
love
great
Larry.
guy. And what was really funny is the county we worked for changed our name tags where it had our first initial, our last name, and our rank. Well, his first initial was actually A. So his name tag said a gay paramedic. And he ran with that one. It took about a week and they changed back to the old name tags. It was beautiful.
That's perfect.
He ran with that ball. Oh, man. Yeah. But he was
Oh, good.
such a great guy. I love him so much. I ain't seen him in years. But he is so awesome.
Well, next time you see him, tell him that Tim from New York City is very proud of him and grateful for his stance.
I will do it. I will do
Because
it.
it always takes the first ones to just kick that door open.
No, he kicked it off the hinges. Yep. He kicked that door off the hinges. But yeah, he was such an awesome guy. And it's funny. I work with a lot of gay people in EMS and medicine. And people have asked me, well, y'all have to sleep in the same room sometime. I'm like, yeah, gay people sleep too.
Yeah.
So they know I'm not gay. Nobody messes with me. We're fine. Calm down. It's okay.
Yeah, and they even eat too.
Yeah, I've heard
Who
that.
knew?
I have heard that y'all eat sometimes. No. Now, if anybody tells me y'all watch TV and stuff, we're going to have to draw the line there because I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I know we've just had a ball so far. I'm having such a great time with you.
Oh, me too. I love this. Love this.
I know you were telling me about your cabaret show. When it starts, I'm
Oh.
going to have to find you and see it because I'm actually wanting to come to New York in November if everything kind of clears up.
Oh my gosh, that'd be wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, my cabaret show, that was a real very poignant, or it was I was extremely proud of that show. And it got critical acclaim here in New York City. Basically what I did was I told my life story through song, basically, where I talk about growing up in the countryside of Indiana in the 60s and 70s. I never even heard the word gay or homosexual. I didn't know there was such a thing. It was a very lonely and kind of isolating experience for me. And then once I found out that there were other people like me out there, oh, honey, I was off to the races. But I ended up moving to New York City, and I fell into drugs and alcohol, which most people don't know, but I revealed in my cabaret show my 20-year drug and alcohol addiction that should have killed me, really, because it got extreme. And then my overcoming that, and by the end of the show, we're all celebrating and having fun. So, or celebrating life, actually. So it kind of takes you down. Like, do you know the song "Mercy" by Duffy? Cause I'm begging you for mercy.
Yeah.
Why won't you release me? Well, like as an example, we took that song and we slowed it down and did a dark blues version of that. And I was singing it to the cocaine. I was saying, I'm begging you for mercy. Please release me. So we would take these familiar songs and give them a completely different meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're very proud of that. And I've taken it out around the country. I was out in California actually about a year ago, out in Palm Springs doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
man.
and once again, I'm sitting in my apartment right this year.
Well, when you open back up, when I come up there, you need to have a guest intro guy. Oh,
Okay, okay. I would love that. Love that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I want to come up there because I'm meeting so many neat people through this podcast. I've started working with Eileen and Jimmy, and they have introduced me to so many great people, and a lot of y'all are from New York.
Yeah. Oh my God, Eileen Shapiro and Jimmy Starr. I love them.
Oh, they're amazing.
They are so incredible, and they know everybody. They're so amazing.
They do, and they're so awesome. I actually interviewed Jimmy yesterday.
Oh,
And
what a fascinating person he
yeah,
is.
I mean
Uh-huh.
they were so great. I love both of them to
Oh,
pieces.
and and have you talked to Ron
Oh,
Russell?
the my episode with Ron is epic because
I can
holy
imagine.
shit, he was so great. I love Ron. He is hilarious.
He is. He's hysterical.
Yeah, and no, and like I say, they know everybody.
Yeah, yeah. All of Hollywood. All
Ye-
of Hollywood. They're
Yeah,
wonderful.
and being a when I was in the '80s, that was my teenage years. I was born in '71,
hmm
and
hmm
I listened to hair metal and all that stuff, and they have put me in
Yeah.
touch with so many of my musical heroes, and I've
Oh,
made friends with
sweet.
them.
Sweet.
And it is so neat. I got to talk to Kenny Wilkerson from Nova Rex,
Uh-huh.
and he's got a cookbook out now,
Uh-huh.
and it's actually the proceeds are going for autism, and
Wow. Uh-huh.
it is such a great book. I've gotten a couple of copies that I'm going to do a giveaway with,
Uh-huh.
and it's all the rockers from the '80s and '90s have contributed recipes, and they're really good.
Nice. Nice. Oh my
But
God.
yeah, the name of the book is called "Rockin' Recipes for Autism."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is so good.
Wow.
It
Very
shocked me
cool.
the rockers that can cook. Yeah,
Excellent.
but yeah, they have just put me in touch with so many great people like that, and it's just snowballed because with my style, we talked before and after the interview, and I don't feel like I'm interviewing. I feel like I'm making a new friend, and
Mm-hmm.
it
Absolutely.
works.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that seems to be what's happening here too.
hey,
You and I are just chatting. I love it, getting to know each other.
it's natural and it works for me, and it's what people want to hear. They want to hear what they they can go on your website and hear 99% of what we would talk about.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
But and I know I listen to a lot of podcasts, and like I'll use Howie Mandel for an example. I listened to
Mm-hmm.
one with him because I love Howie,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw another show that had him like, well, I'm going to listen to it on this one, and it was the same questions. He gave the same answers, and you could tell
Oh.
he was so tired of those questions.
Uh huh.
And I don't want to be that way. I
Yeah.
want people to hear mine
Absolutely.
and say, well, shit, I didn't know that about Tim.
Uh
Or
huh.
say, yeah. Talking about your cabaret show, I performed at a club in Savannah one night. Do you remember Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Lady Chablis? I have performed
Uh
on the same stage in the same spot that she was on.
huh. Oh my God, that's fabulous.
Yep. I stood right there and did stand up, and it was so awesome.
Oh my goodness. Now, Savannah is another city that I have not yet visited, but I have heard wonderful things about Savannah.
I love Savannah. I'm,
That's what everybody says, that it is just, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I got to get there. I've got to, that whole region. Um, we need to do, I need to go down and spend some time like Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah, that area there. I
yeah.
need to maybe do a little tour or something between those cities.
Well, I know all three of them very well. And
Oh, okay. So,
Savannah, I love that place. I'm not a beach guy.
uh huh,
So when I go, I like to walk the squares and walk down River Street. And there's a club there. Me and my wife tried to go to it, and we got really shitty directions. But the theme of it is called Matahari's,
uh huh.
and it's a 1920s speakeasy. You have to
Oh
have a
my
password to
God.
get in it.
Oh, how fabulous.
And to get the password, you go to these different hotel concierges, and you talk to them, and they say, "Well, I don't know it today, but you can go over to this one and talk to Fred or whoever, and
Uh
tell him
huh.
I sent you." And you'll go to like 3 hotels, and they'll give you the password.
Oh, that's so cool.
And the neat thing is, you can walk up to this place and flash 10 grand in cash at the guy at the door when the little thing opens, and he
Uh
won't
huh.
let you in without a password.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
it's on a
gosh.
little back alley down off River Street, and we never could find it.
Wow.
And after we left,
Yes.
we finally figured out where it was. I'm like, well, we're a jackass. We were like 300 feet from it. So I really want to go to it.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fascinating. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And Savannah's got all kind of stuff like that. It's such a great little town.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah, I performed last year in Augusta at a men's. We took a show that I'm in called 50 Shades of Gay,
hmm
which is Icavelli. Icavelli is a gay comedian here in New York. He's a good buddy, one of my best friends, and
hmm
I'm the musical guest in his show 50 Shades of Gay.
I've actually got him Friday, I think.
Oh my God, you're gonna love Ike. Oh God,
Nice.
he is so much fun. And my father had a heart attack in Florida, so I flew down there the week before, and took care of him and got everything together, and for him to transport back to Indiana, where he's from. And while I just stayed on in Florida and went directly from Florida to Augusta,
hmm
and that was. Oh, I know you don't like to get political, but it was very conservative around Florida where Dad was,
hmm
and and here I am, Mr. Peacock Feathers walking around, and felt a little out of place. And then I fly into Augusta, and I didn't know this, but we were doing 2 days at an all male gay resort, and clothing was optional.
hmm
So I go from one extreme to the other.
That was down off of Peach Orchard Road.
I think so.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it was just going from one extreme to the other in like one flight.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a ball, sold out shows there. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny. Next to that place used to be a strip club.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I actually bounced at that, or didn't bounce. I bodyguarded for two strippers there.
Uh-huh.
And I was like 21, 22 years old. And it was
Yeah.
right after the movie The Bodyguard came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you couldn't drink in this club. They had lost their liquor license, but you could go out to your car and drink out of your car and come back in.
Oh, okay.
And these two girls, they were wonderful girls, but they just knew they needed a bodyguard. They got way too into the movie.
Uh-huh.
And I made $100 a night. Plus, I got
There
to
you
sit there and
go.
watch naked women all night long,
All right.
and didn't have to do anything.
And get paid for it.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was
I
the
love it.
most awesome job I ever had. It was like being a damn taster in a pie factory.
Yes, right. The only thing better than that would be if you were a porn performer
Yeah,
and get paid to have sex.
yeah, yep. But man, it was a fun job. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yes, I imagine.
Oh man, yeah, I did all kind of crap when I was young. Oh man, I
That's
tell
the time
people.
to do it.
Yeah, I tell people I've never done anything I regret or that I'm ashamed of, but I've done some stuff that I should.
Yeah, and thank God we didn't have like cell phones and internet back in those
Oh
days.
man, ooh, you ain't kidding.
We did some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Oh man, I would never be able to run for office.
Right.
Never, never. I remember having my first pager. It didn't even have a screen on it. If it went off, I just knew what number to call.
Yes, right.
And then we got the pager that had it would display the phone number, and then we made the code out of the phone numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got badass and got the one that would actually do messages. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember my first cell phone was a bag phone.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, kids today will never know that struggle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where you had to carry around like the shoulder bag.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. But boy, they were the thing.
Oh,
They were the
I
thing.
was fancy, and it was $0.25 a minute,
Right?
and they had freaking long distance charges.
Yeah. It's like you answer the phone. This better be important. Hurry up. Talk fast.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you put two ums in there, I would hang up because you didn't know what you wanted to say, and I wasn't paying for it.
And I don't have the money for that.
Yeah. If this were like 1990, this phone call right here, we would be up to about $1,700 right now. 'Cause it's long distance plus minutes, and oh man,
have to take another mortgage out on the house.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Oh
yeah.
goodness.
And the internet, oh, hang that one up, man. I remember the first time I actually got 56K on my modem.
Hmm.
Oh, that thing was smoking. I'm like, man, it only took me 15 minutes to download a song today.
Yes, right. And that eong,
Hmm.
eong, when you dialed up.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
we're showing our age here.
Oh man. Oh, I remember our first VCR. That thing was the size of the
Yes.
coffee table and had the wired remote. We thought we were fancy because we had a remote. It was on a damn wire that stretched across the
Yeah.
living room that you would trip over every 10 seconds. Mash the button and the damn top of the thing pop up. Oh,
Yeah.
have to get up and adjust the tracking on it.
And then you have to rewind it or fast forward, after.
Oh, oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I remember the first time we got a DVD player. Me and my wife bought one, and we watched "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." And I took it out
Hmm.
and put it back in the case, and she said, we're not even starting this. I said, what? She said, you need to rewind that. I just kind of looked at her, and she said, shut up. Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. It's so amazing how, again, we come from like the phones that's attached to the wall with the long cord
Oh,
on it.
yeah. And it was always in the kitchen,
Yep, yep,
and it
yep.
always had that one
No
space around the
privacy.
corner that you could go sit in.
And that poor cord, because it always got pulled so tight, is all
Hmm.
mangled and
Yep,
clumped together.
exactly. Oh, man. Yeah. But I miss those times 'cause they were so much fun because we
Hmm.
were high tech. Oh, yeah. Well, my
Yep,
Atari.
yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My best friend of 40 years, I remember he had an Atari when we were growing up, and he had literally every game that came out for Atari.
Uh huh.
And that was so awesome. We would play all the time. And matter of fact, he's still one of my best friends today. I could call him right now and say, Blake, I just killed somebody. I need help hiding the body. He's like, do you have lime or do I need to pick some up? You know, he's that guy.
Love it.
Yeah. So I love him to pieces. He's the one that helped me learn how to do the meat stuff after I had the stroke.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Oh, but oh yeah.
Oh, I remember one time, and I haven't told many people this one, but I remember one time it was like shortly after high school. I was hanging out with some friends, and they had an Atari. That was, I think, Atari. That was the one with Pac-Man, right?
Oh yeah.
And Space Invaders. And
Yep.
well, we had stopped by there one night, and I was tripping on acid and started playing Pac-Man. And I could feel that thing. I could feel its breath behind me going gabba 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 gabba. And I ran through that. I cleared screen after screen after screen. He was right behind me the whole time. That's one of those things. It's a good thing we didn't have the internet and
Oh
cameras
man,
at the time.
that would have went viral. That would have went viral. Oh
But every
man.
time I think of Pac-Man, I think of that breath behind me going gabba 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 gabba.
Now I got to make it my mission to find an old Atari and a Pac-Man cartridge for when I come up there. Oh yeah. But oh man, well Tim, I tell you, man, I'm having a ball today, and you know you're
Well,
welcome.
likewise.
You're welcome on here anytime you want to be. All you gotta do is call and say, "Hey, fat boy, I want to talk," and I will hit this button.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you.
But oh yeah, we've got so much we didn't get to today, but we're gonna get to it.
Hmm.
But I'm still gonna put everything in my show notes. You know, tell me about your movie Junk.
Oh my goodness, junk.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole show all on its own. But junk is, I think, my crowning achievement in my entertainment career. Um, junk is it's a full length feature. It's a full movie. It's a musical. it's LGBT, and there's only two people in the film, just me and my co-star Robbie Wayne from Palm Springs,
Nice.
just the two of us, and we sing and dance and argue, and it's basically about an older gay man and a younger gay man that go in to clean out the house of a recently deceased man who kind of lived like a hermit out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And we piece his life together based on his possessions, and the place is covered in porn. And we also find a lot of things out about ourselves and the generational gap, because kind of like what we were talking about in a way, where my character as the older gay person keeps reflecting back to how times used to be. And like one of the things that I usually refer to my character as her, because she was kind of a transgender before there was the term.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that she brings up are tattoos, because like when you and I were kids, if a man had a tattoo, oh, that was a symbol of that he's a tough man.
Yeah.
You know, he was like outside the law, maybe with a biker gang or something like that. You know, men who a tattoo was a symbol of rebellion and a symbol of outside the law type of thing. And now a tattoo is almost a symbol of conformity. It's almost like, oh, you have to have a tattoo to fit in.
Yeah.
But that one symbol has changed over time and just become the meaning of it has kind of been depleted, like so much in our society. It's like it's very hard to find anything that is truly original anymore, because it's but we cover a lot of things like that. And my character is constantly shaking her finger in his face going, you know what the problem with your generation is, you know.
Nice.
But it's very the fact that there's only two characters in the film, that alone is unusual. But Michael Penny, who is from North Carolina, from Durham, wrote this piece, and it is absolutely incredible. It's very layered. Everybody that watches it can relate to it in one way or another. There's something in this movie for everybody. But it was just so brilliantly written. He wrote all the music. He wrote all the lyrics. He wrote the script. He directed the movie. He edited the movie afterwards, self-taught how to edit, and it's edited perfectly. He's amazing. I love and adore Michael Penny.
Very
cool. We are so proud and so proud of this film. It's just, I recommend everybody please see it.
Outstanding. Well, Tim, I'll tell you, man, I'm proud to have you as a friend, because I feel like we have made that bond.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
like I said, I definitely want to have you back on here, and we're going to talk some more, man. But I know we've been going for a good while, and I know you still haven't had coffee yet.
That's right. This is before coffee. Imagine after.
Oh, man. We're definitely going to do it again, and I appreciate so much you coming on here.
Oh, man, Brad, thank you. I really appreciate this. This was absolutely wonderful. What a wonderful way to start the day.
It definitely is. It definitely is. All right.